Hello, 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 hello. This is Windfall ASMR, and welcome to my channel where we do a lot of whispery stuff. We do different random things. We might get silly. It's sometimes kind of dumb. I imagine that it will be sometimes enlightening or fun or stimulating somehow. But today, it's not going to be that. It's going to be very low key. It's going to be chill. It's going to be a collection, a show and tell. Show and tell with this tiny mic. Tiny mic of my Nintendo 3DS console and a video game collection. The 3DS, I believe, came out around 12 years ago and was just discontinued hardware-wise. They don't make it anymore as of like 2 years ago. So, because of the pandemic, interest got really high for it and the prices all started skyrocketing. So I unfortunately could not add to my collection of consoles and games, but thankfully, I had a lot already, and I have always enjoyed handheld video games. So this collection is significant to me because even though games are everywhere now and on your phone or on your smartwatch or on your, I don't know, house arrest bracelet, I'm sure you can hack to play Tetris on it. There's something really special about having a fully formed game that's not asking you to pay 99 cents for a new outfit or $3 to get to the next level because you're underpowered. You know, these are thoughtfully made games sold to you at full price, and it was a full experience for you to take in and enjoy. So that's why I love older handheld games, even though they're very ubiquitous now, obviously. And I grew up on the giant brick Game Boy of the late 80s, early 90s that you can knock out like a house intruder with. You know, you can just take them right out with one of those 3-pound Game Boys, and I loved it. I still love that ugly green and black color palette with no backlight. I think it's beautiful. So anything above that is awesome, and the 3DS is like at console technology of 20 years ago. It's pretty dated compared to like games you can get now, obviously, but to me, a lot of them still have a lot of charm and entertainment value. So I'm gonna stop rambling now. I like to yap. I like to be a little whisper man, a little yapper, a little talkative dude. And I apologize, but anyways, let's get on with it. And I'm gonna show you some of the games and some of my consoles. First thing I wanted to show off is my 3DS. It is a new 3DS model. I bought this case off of Amazon. It is not a Nintendo case, but let me open it up. I tried to make that as smooth as possible, and I almost achieved that. Okay. Inside the case is our console, which is inside another protective thing. You can see I value it very much. It's hard to see, but there's on the faceplates, the black faceplates have Nintendo Mario themed shapes etched in, like Toad, the Goomba, stars, ghosts, and different blocks from the Mario games. So I think this is super fun. The these were only released during one Black Friday. I forget of which year. It was a long time ago. And it was $100 new. It was limited edition, never sold again. This is the model that has the Circle Pad Pro, which is used for some games. And it has extra power compared to the regular 3DS, so it loads up a little quicker, I believe. And there are some games that will only run on this console, and I believe you can only play some Super Nintendo games on this version. So I'm gonna go ahead and boot it up for you, and we can check it out together. So this is actually a smaller version of the new 3DS XL, which is the version most people in the US have, which is quite a bit bigger than this one. But it's about the same power and does the same stuff. This is just like a limited edition model. And these go for like $200 to $300 now on eBay, I think. But I would never sell it unless I was in dire need, because I love it so, and it still runs amazingly after all these years. It is such a quality, beautiful console. The thumbstick still works. Everything's going. Right now I have Super Mario 3D Land in it, and I have many downloaded games, which I could show you sometime, but for now I just wanted to show off the physical collection I have, not the digital media I have accrued, in addition to the new 3DS. I have this case which holds a black and red 2DS, a Nintendo 2DS. You may be asking, what's a 2DS? It's kind of confusing, I know. Anyways, this will play pretty much every game the 3DS will, except it doesn't fold up. It's in this cute little wedge shape. Looks like a wedge of cheese you would buy at Trader Joe's for $8.99 a pound. Beautiful wedge shape. It's meant to be more durable. It's really nice and compact and comfortable. I think even more comfortable than a regular 3DS. But it doesn't have a 3D function. The 3DS is a console that kind of have a gimmicky technology, where it allows you to slide it up and down to make the games look more or less 3D. But it's kind of disorienting. I don't like it that much, but it's still like fun to play around with. The 2DS doesn't have that, but it runs pretty much everything else except for very few exclusive new 3DS games. This was $80 when it came out, or $70 on sale. It was an amazing value, beautiful, durable, and it's still like new after all these years. Right now, this has Pokemon X inside, which I will show off the box for in a little bit. It is a gorgeous console. Can you tell I love handhelds? Don't get me started, girl, or man, or boy, or whatever you identify as. It's all good. We're all included here. Don't get me started on that. Okay, let's get to the games. The first thing is not a game, but the case where I keep most of my games. Nintendo had this program for a few years where if you put in the codes you got when you bought new games, you could enter your code online and accrue points. And with my points, I wanted a case that could hold, this one holds 18 games, which is awesome. And it's different backgrounds. This one is Bowser and his crew. But you have different backgrounds you can put as well. So that's where I hold most of my games. Onto the games themselves. This isn't my full collection, but this is most of it. This is most of it right here for the 3DS. First is Animal Crossing. I love Animal Crossing. I know most people fell in love with it at a very strange and confusing time during the pandemic when it came out for the Nintendo Switch. But I've been playing Animal Crossing games since the GameCube. I used to play with my girlfriend. We would play Animal Crossing together and try to get all of the fish to donate to the museum, and the bugs and the fossils, pretty much the same thing you do now. But I remember back then it was so amazing because you could get like arcade machines that would play old retro games on it too. So it just felt like this little Easter egg, a game inside a game, which I thought was awesome at that time. Anyways, this version is New Leaf, which plays a lot like the DS and the GameCube version. You are a resident to a island, I believe, or town, and you do errands for people. You can dress up your character, you can collect different stuff, you can build your house any way you want it, you can do a lot of secret things, go fishing. It's just super fun, and this is an awesome version if you don't have a Nintendo Switch, and you happen to have a 3DS. I think this one is still fun to play today, and a total immersive experience that you can get lost in for hours at a time. And there's no stress. There's no like time limit. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. You gotta go at your own pace and do your own thing. Your own thing. That's Animal Crossing. This next one is Dragon Quest 8. Which is the 8th edition of a Japanese role-playing game, Dragon Quest or Dragon Warrior, as it was originally known in the US. That is one of the best-selling role-playing games of all time. In these games, you go through a fantasy world and experience fighting, romance, deception, adventure. It's a lot of text. It's like a virtual novel almost. It's not a virtual novel. I should take that back. It has elements of like reading, but you're still engaged. You're making decisions on fighting, and it's really, really fun. If you are a veteran of the RPG genre, you're probably looking at me like, of course we know this, you dumbo. What are you telling? I'm just saying, if you've never played a role-playing game before, you have time to think about your actions and then go through with them in Dragon Quest games. So there's really no rush, and you could just walk around from town to town doing stuff and talking to people. This one is amazing because the characters are written to be very entertaining and witty. And I really like the class system. You can customize your characters pretty much in dozens of different ways, which I always appreciate. Next is Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers is something I grew up playing with my friends in high school on the N64. Some of my best memories are just going to our friends' houses and beating the crap out of each other for hours and hours and hours. I was a Captain Falcon player. Captain Falcon, who does not take a ton of skill to play, so that's probably why I liked him. He just beat the crap out of people, and he was very fast. Even though if you hit him, he can kind of go flying, and that wasn't so fun when you got smacked by a little tiny ball type creature and you just go flying into the abyss. Not so fun. But Super Smash Bros. In general, super duper fun. The 3DS version is an amazing technical achievement. It's almost as good as the Switch version, I think, on this older console. With and very playable on these small screens. You wouldn't think it would be, because Smash Brothers, the arenas are very big, but the character designs are so beautifully drawn, and it is so detailed, even on the small screen, that I love playing it. Even though I have the Switch version, I will also play the 3DS version sometimes. And if you've never played a Smash Brothers game before, they are meant to be fighting games up to 4 players at a time, but they are simple. You just have to press one button to do special moves. You don't have to do anything crazy or memorize stuff. So you can really start to have fun pretty quickly in these games. And there are dozens, literally dozens of characters. So you will have one that for sure that will be a favorite or that you find adorable. Okay, we're just gonna do a few more, 2 more, and then we're gonna go to a part 2, because this is a longer video, longer video now. Okay, I'm going to talk about Fantasy Life, Fantasy Life, Fantasy Life, Fantasy Life, Fantasy Life. Fantasy Life is a great underrated game. It has a very generic title, but the game is definitely not generic. I think it's super cool. They basically give you like a mini World of Warcraft experience. But single player. You don't have to play with any humans or friends. You get to customize your character any way you want. Go around this pretty big world and choose from 12 different professions or classes. So you can be a carpenter, you can be a knight, you can be a mage, and switch between them pretty much anytime you like, depending on what you need to do. So the game has a lot of variety. You can concentrate for hours at a time just on like fishing or cutting down rare trees or finding rare monsters, and pretty much go anywhere you want and do anything you want, as long as you don't get eaten or mauled by an enemy that is too strong for you. So this game, I think, is incredible. I cannot forgive Nintendo and their executives for not bringing the sequel to the United States. It was only released in Japan, which breaks my heart. That's Fantasy Life. Love it. Last one for this video. Rune Factory 4. Rune Factory 4. And they recently re-released this for the Nintendo Switch. But I have the 3DS version and I quite love it just fine. So I will be refraining from buying any other version. But this game is pretty awesome. It is a spin-off of Harvest Moon games, which are farming simulators. But in these games, the Rune Factory games, they are farming simulators where you also kill monsters and hunt rare treasures and talk to dragons and marry cute waifus and or the males in the game as well. So I had a blast with it. The graphics To be honest, not the best. A little rough. The animation, a little rough. But the gameplay, the writing is so charming. It's so silly. In this game, you bake different types of bread that you eat to like gain skills and intelligence. Like it doesn't take itself seriously. You know, like I said, there's giant talking dragons, and the world just kind of sweeps you up in it. You just go along with it. If you have if you still have those sensibilities where you can immerse yourself in something a bit whimsical, a bit fantastical, the Rune Factory series, even though they are a bit cliche in terms of storytelling, like you're usually an amnesiac who needs to figure out how to make some money and solve world problems for some reason. These games are so much fun, and we love. Okay, I think I've gone on long enough about some video games, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider subscribing. If you haven't, if you do, it would be so meaningful to me. And if not, that's okay as well, friend, because your choices are yours and your time is limited and your own. I understand. Okay. Have a good night, everybody. I wish you nothing but the best. And may not be friends yet, but maybe we could be. Maybe we could be someday. Day. And I hope I made your day a little better.